Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, joining us in Granny's basement. Uh, this is my cousin Raelene. I'm Ricki. Uh, what can I say? I've been lucky enough to be married for 22 years. I have four kids. Uh, I have a pretty amazing life. There is a tough part of our story. I think I'm going to share it now. I have, like I said, four kids. Two of our kids have a neurodegenerative immune disorder. It's called ataxia telangiectasia. And yes, that is a mouthful. It's something that took me a long time to learn how to say. And I think it took me longer to learn how to spell it. Um, but it is a disorder that affects my kids' cerebellum. It is an umbrella disease, so they have markers of other diseases, like Parkinson's and MS and a bunch of other disorders. Um, my it's my oldest son and my youngest daughter who have it, and both of my kids used to walk independently, and now they are in wheelchairs full time, and um, they are so smart, almost too smart. I know my youngest is pretty witty, so she can give you a tongue lashing. um, you know, but now like I said, they're in wheelchairs full time. They're super smart. They unfortunately have um like the self-care skills of a toddler, and they need help with almost anything. Not everything, but most things. Um, Most kids with AT don't live past their early teens because of their immune issues. Now,
Mhm.
obviously, in this day and age, with different technology and advancement in medicine, those sort of that sort of changed a little bit. But my kids are two of less than, I think, 20 in all of Canada, and I
Mhm.
think two
Wow.
of about 500 in all of North America. Um,
Mm.
yeah, I mean, they're more susceptible to cancer and other diseases and stuff like that. Aspiration is huge, lung disease is huge. Something
Mm.
like the common flu could kill them. Uh, but
Mm.
I'm very lucky. Like, my kids are doing fantastic, aside from fine motor skills and being able to walk. But anyhow, I could talk about this all day, but I'll leave it at that for now. I just wanted to share it because it is such a huge part of everyday life in my family. And, so there's stories that are going to come up and you're going to wonder why. So I
Yeah.
thought I would just, kind of get it out there. And, you know,
Yeah.
uh, that said, we don't want this podcast to be centered around AT. It's just a part of my life, and I feel like I need to acknowledge it. And I want, you know, to emphasize that, yes, it's unfortunate, but I have a super amazing support system. And,
Mm.
my kids are doing great. But, every day does come with its challenges, but I
Mhm.
am grateful. Um, I know it could be more difficult. So I really, I can't complain. I'm blessed. So, but
Mm.
I'll leave it at that.
Thanks, Ricky.
Yeah.
I know it's not easy to talk about that and to share, especially in this sort of like wide who knows who's going to be
Yeah.
watching this, right? But I think we both decided coming into this podcast that it was about transparency and it was about being honest, and this is family based. We want to we want to connect with other families. And I think being honest about the challenges and about sort of the realness is a part of this. And
Mhm.
so thank you for doing that, setting the tone for,
Yeah.
the podcast. And yeah, it's not necessarily about all the challenges in people's lives, but we don't want to shy away from any
No.
topic. And that's what we say in our promo, right?
Yeah.
Nothing goes unsaid.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And too, like
yeah. And
I just, because of so many stories come up, and I just don't want to be vague in my
yeah, yeah.
storytelling. So,
Yeah, it's like, wait, do I have to censor myself?
uh,
And I don't want you to have
yeah,
to do that. None of us
no.
want that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, awesome. I am Raelene, and Ricki and I are cousins, and we're going to share a lot about that, I'm sure, and how this sort of came to be. But I also have a big family. I have 5 kids. We often joke that, when people say, well, why do you have so many kids? Like, they nicely try to say that, but it's
Yeah.
like they think you're in a cult or
I
something. And
know. I know.
um,
Did you
I
do
guess
it on
maybe we
purpose?
kind yeah, yeah. Was that? Are they all yours?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, yes, they're all mine. Yes, I've been in this married to the same person for 32 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, 5 great kids. They're all artists, all creative. We had hoped that maybe somebody in there would be an accountant or a dentist or I don't know, entertainment
Yeah.
lawyer, something that could help us with all our entrepreneurial artistic endeavors. But no, they're
Nope.
all just artists and actors and musicians and writers and amazing. And I
Yeah.
love them to death. They've been very encouraging about us doing this podcast and bringing our real selves. I've been getting messages from their friends, which like is so heartwarming. Um, so it's so great. So yeah, I've been, as I said, married 32 years, been with the same guy for 40 years since we were kids, met him when we were 12. It's like such a weird, doesn't even make sense
No.
story. Um, and yeah, I'm super entrepreneurial. I didn't know that until I was kind of in my 40s. I had done lots of things, but didn't really count them. I kind of dismissed them because I was technically a stay-at-home mom, but I was a stay-at-home mom who kind of did a lot and didn't realize where it would take me later in life. And so um I don't know. That's who we are. You're going to hear so much more about us as we go into this podcast and as we share our stories, our lives, that we're just so heavily influenced by our grannies.